right, guys, look, we're into the holiday season now. What I want to talk about today is basically eating for the holidays. I know everybody does it, but you know what? This is basically for my general clientele who are on the diet and they try to stick with the diet and trying to lose weight and everything like this. Okay, so what I want to say is one meal isn't going to make you fat, okay? Whether it be on Thanksgiving or whether it's going to be on Christmas. One meal won't make you fat. So on those days, indulge. What's going to make you fat is going to be all the other things that come in between. Okay, you start coming in now. We're coming into Christmas now, right? So now you're going to get grandma's cookies. She's going to be bringing it over, right? Aunt Flo's freaking cupcakes and everything else. And you're going to have pretty soon all these little, these little pastries hanging around. And you're not going to want to resist them. It's going to be hard to resist. If you can, that's great, okay? But I'm going to tell you, it's not going to be the meals. It's going to be everything in between. Because these little things, these little cakes and cookies and everything like that, even if you come by and you say, oh, I only have one, right? You come by, take it off the table and have a cookie. Oh, I only had one cookie today, but by the time the end of the day comes around, you had freaking 20 of them, right? And sometimes you don't even realize it. And that's where it happens, right? Is when you don't realize what you're eating. Okay, so every time when I put people on a diet, and and let's say if it's a calorie controller, there are a lot of different types of diets that we can go ahead and do, but all of them are going to be within a certain calorie range. Okay, so if you figure it out, right, all this sugar, everything else that you're taking in, right, what makes you fat isn't going to be the sugar, right? It's going to be the excess calories, and it's going to be the insulin release every time you eat sugar. And that's what happens. Okay, so when you release insulin, right, it's going to store away. It's going to also release cortisol. And cortisol is going to store away. If you don't utilize it, it's going to store away as fat. And when that happens and you don't use it, that's what basically happens. And you wind up getting fat. You wind up gaining weight. I just read a statistic that over the holidays, most people gain somewhere between 8 and 10 pounds over a holiday. And if you think about that, over a holiday, it's really 2 weeks. That's not that much, right? So you got to think about what is around you, right, and what you're eating, and be conscious of it. If you're not conscious of it, it's gonna get away. Now, look, I'm the same way, man. I mean, I come out and I love the holidays. And even though I'm dieting right now and I've dropped some pretty good weight, I'm still going to watch it. So let's say, for example, and I'm going to tell you how to get around this. Okay. And some people are going to disagree with me, and some people are going to agree with me. But this is the way I would do it, and this is the way I do it with my clients. Right? Let's say that you're on a 2,000 calorie a day diet, and your calories are, you've got high protein, fats are high, but your carbohydrates are low. Okay. You're gonna have a hard time around the holidays if you don't contain yourself getting around this. So what you want to do is you want to take those calories, right, and keep your protein up, and then if you want something, you're gonna have to keep track of it, right? So if you want a cookie, if you want something like that, I'm not saying do this. I'm not saying have the cookie or anything like that. But if you do, make sure it's within your macronutrient or your calories that you're consuming. Okay, otherwise it's going to start getting away. Now here's a problem. If you are on a low carbohydrate diet, okay, if you're on a medium protein, low carbohydrate diet, kind of high fat, let's call it keto, okay? Keto basically essentially is going to be zero carbohydrates anyway. So you're on zero carbohydrates, which means you've got your ketone bodies taking over your sugar. Okay, so you wiped out your sugar cravings are all gone. But when that comes around, what's going to happen is you're going to go ahead and take that sugar in, right? And boom. And what's going to happen is that insulin's going to release, that cortisol is going to release, and all of a sudden you're going to find yourself gaining weight, even though you still stay within your calories. Okay, makes sense, right? And I'll tell you why it makes sense. I just told you the reason why, because what happens is when you're not utilizing sugar for energy and you're using ketone bodies, right, or fat storage, right, for your energy system, and then all of a sudden, right, you switch back to carbohydrates, and and your pancreas starts creating all this insulin and just releasing, and and that's basically what happens. And so when you do that, right, you find yourself getting a little bit softer around the midsection, pants starting to fit a little bit tighter, right? And so you've got to get back to that. Look, the cravings are hard for me too, right? I get it. I get it. And if you want something, have it, but don't overindulge. It's the overindulgence that is going to kill you, right? Again, on those days, right? Thanksgiving meal, go for it, man. You know, Christmas meal, go for it. Go all out. Again, it's going to be everything in between that is going to hurt you.